The James Show Podcast.
Let's go check in on our poor bastard neighbors up in New York City. I mean, these guys, not only do they have cold weather and the whole place stinks.
New York City!
This new mayor is just terrible. Mamdani has proposed a couple things. He's proposing rent freezes, tax hikes, and now universal daycare.
These are programs for every single New Yorker. These are not programs that are going to ask the immigration status of any one of the children. All of those children are New Yorkers. They should all be enrolled in pre-K and 3K, no matter where they were born or where they come from.
So you see with this pre-K and 3K, they just want universal daycare. They want socialized daycare. They want the government to raise your children, not you raise your children. And so the excuse is, well, it's not daycare. This is pre-K. Yeah, that's the ticket. We're sending them to school. But pre-K has no lasting results. 3K is an absolute waste of money. And they do the studies on this. Go check it out. Whenever there's a Head Start program or pre-K or 3K or whatever, by the time they're in 6th grade, it is immeasurable which one of the kids participated in these programs and which ones did not. So they're a complete waste of money, but it is couched as education. What it really is just universal daycare. Universal daycare is something that everyone would push back against. Unless you're Mamdani, you actually admit that you want universal daycare. Now, universal daycare, we try and, not to be sensational about this, but since you're constantly being accused of being a fascist and literally Hitler, we like to look at what did Hitler literally do when he took over in Austria. We have the interview of the lady who was a kid in Austria when they voted in Adolf Hitler, and she talked about all the changes they made. One of them was they went and took all religion out of schools. They took Jesus out of schools. There was no more praying in schools. The media was all on board with this new regime and its economic policies. They had all kinds of social programs, universal basic income, equal rights. But look, this is another one, universal daycare.
Before Hitler, of course, the moms stayed home. They were good wives, and they raised their families. But under socialism, if you are not in the workforce, you are called a parasite. So the moms were being put out into the workforce. So what happened to the children? Childcare centers. Mm-hmm. You could, and it was all free for everybody. You could bring your 4-month-old baby, leave it there 24 hours, 7 days a week. As longer you left your child there, the better the government liked it.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. The government can't wait to raise your kids. Because guess what kind of bent is going to be on the education and raising they get from the government? It's going to be amazingly pro-government. We want big government for everything. Every problem in society is going to have a government solution in the minds of these people. But look, this is why I secretly enjoy the guy being mayor of New York City, is we get to see all these terrible policies implemented, and we can argue against them, and we can have people tell us we're stupid, and then they can implement the policies, and then we can all watch them fail. And I love it. Here's a landlord from New York City. I mean, he's a self-professed landlord. Might be a guy playing a part. Who knows? But he's talking about how some of these policies are working together. He's going to have to raise rent. The cost of everything's going up. The cost of his utilities going up. His taxes are going up. They're even talking about rent freezes. So guess what? Rents are going up.
This is a message to the mayor of the city of New York, the New York City Council, to tenants, as well as to landlords. I just received tax bills, assessments for July 1st of 2026. These increases are ridiculously high, the highest I've ever seen. One of my buildings alone went up over $9,000. There's 6 doors in that building. That comes out to an increase of $125 per door per month. That's not including, and this is before, increase of water and sewer charges, which he's already said that they're going to increase, my increase in insurance, my increase in maintenance, my increase in repairs, my increase in utilities. Those are just basic. So before you politicians continue to blame us landlords, the hardworking people, One, we don't print money. We're not the federal government. Two, we're playing by the rules that you guys put in place, not our rules. We didn't make up these rules. Lastly, we're only here to pay the bills. But to pay those bills, we got to increase rents. So when you want to do a rent freeze, think about freezing the real estate taxes. Think about freezing your water and sewer charges increase. Think about telling Home Depot, Lowe's, and all the lumber yards in the city of New York, they got to freeze their prices to landlords.
I love this. Yeah, they're going to raise your taxes so you can get free daycare. In the meantime, the cost of everything around you is going to go up far more. It would have been cheaper for you to just pay for your own damn daycare. That's amazing. I love this. What are we getting, like 4 more years of this stuff? This is fantastic because that crazy lady in Virginia is just as bad, the Spanberger. I love all this because I'm done like getting upset. Well, I told them and they didn't listen to me. I enjoy. Don't listen to me. Fine. Don't listen. Go ahead. Elect this guy. You're not going to like it. You know, this is why you never saw me get too upset about trans women and women's sports. It's not an argument you can lose. They're like, no, trans women are women. Of course it's okay if they play in women's sports. All right, don't listen to me. Can't wait for the next Olympics. This is going to be great. And then what happened? Remember the boxing debacle? Oh, my God, we were eating that up. And if they don't stop it now, guess what the next Olympics is going to be? Awesome. We can't lose. So, if they want to screw up New York City, let them. We benefit from it. Same thing with California. They're supporting a new billionaires tax. They're just going to move here. We're going to get all kinds of benefits from these people just screwing up their own backyard. Here is Aaron Wexler, a funny little comedian, talking about escaping New York City.
I know you might not be able to tell from looking at me, but I am also a political refugee. I escaped from the People's Republic of New York. I think we have some New Yorkers in here. Woo! Yeah, you know that gay Muslim they're all obsessed with up there? Barack Obama.
Did I hear this right? Some genius, some scholar got killed here in town in an argument over French fries?
Police say a man was shot and killed after he did not share French fries with his friend. It happened around 6:30 last night at an apartment complex on the far west side of the city. Police say the argument began over an order of French fries and then escalated to the suspect shooting the victim. That suspect still on the loose tonight. If you know anything, call Fort Worth Police.
Now, that sounds crazy, but it kind of makes sense if it was Whataburger, doesn't it? Just kidding. I'm kidding. It's never a good time to take someone's life over French fries, even the Whataburger ones. But, you know, they reduce it down to where this guy was killed over some French fries. And you know it wasn't that simple. You know it wasn't, hey, man, where's my French fries? Oh, I didn't get you any French fries. Well, execution. You know it's not how it went down. You know, there was an escalation. Well, you forgot my fries? I guess so. Or maybe they forgot to put them in the bag, whatever. Well, why don't you share some of your fries with me? No. Why not? Go get your own fries. Well, I tried to, but you didn't get mine. You're eating them now. Why don't you just give me those fries? Why don't we split them? No. What kind of butthead? You can't even split fries? Really? Well, what about that whole Tina thing from last week? You know, there's a mountain of things that were going on before the French fry thing happened. You wouldn't just pop somebody over French fries. He must have stole his girlfriend or wrecked his car or kicked his dog. You know, there's some sort of pre-existing animus between these two people, I would have to imagine. And it wasn't just French fries and then shooting. It was French fries and you shut up, F you, F you. Someone might have said the N-word. Who knows? But no one got killed over fries. It's an escalating argument that ended up with someone death that may have started with fries. I got it. But I have a hard time believe that there's anyone left on earth with that little impulse control that's that interested in French fries. Like, well, I got to have some fries, and if I don't get my fries, someone's dying tonight. So, no. There's more to the story. We may never know because half of them dead, half of them are going to lie to you so they can try and stay out of prison, but what a dumb way to go. But it's just an absolute terrible, needless tragedy on the way to go. You know, like, I feel so sorry for the kids that fell in the pond or the kids that died sledding. But what are you supposed to do? Not go sledding anymore? Not let kids ever walk on a frozen pond when 999,000 times out of a million that it's fine. No, you can't live life just walking on eggshells the entire time. However, what are you going to do? Stop eating French fries? Like, we can't do that at all. A couple more funny things that I thought you would appreciate here. Carolyn Leavitt, the White House spokesperson, was being asked about mail-in voting. Donald Trump had mentioned that he's thinking about an executive order to end mail-in voting, or for the SAVE Act's being debated right now. It's a voter ID. So one side of the aisle is trying to do just anything that they can, whether it's signature verification, no more mail-in votes, requiring voter ID to make elections more secure. The other side's fighting everything to make them more secure. That's a little suspicious, isn't it? But she's been getting this pushback so much that she brought in a printout, and she had a prop yesterday. You'll like this.
Whom and why? And also, in this vein, does the White House still plan to issue an executive order banning mail-in voting, and what legal authority do you have to do that?
The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal mail-in voting system. It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
Rigged.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in the names of other people, in the names of illegal aliens who shouldn't be voting in American elections. There's countless examples, and we'd be happy to provide them. As for executive action the White House is taking, yes, we are looking into that. And like any executive order, of course, any executive order the president signs is within his full executive authority and within the confines of the law.
I don't know how you lose this argument, y'all. I don't know how you lose this debate in the court of public opinion. They do the surveys, and it's north of 70% of all voters would like there to be voter ID requirements on Election Day. And in some jurisdictions, in some demographics, even Democrats, a majority of Democrats support voter ID laws. And I'm really struggling to try and see the other side of this. Like, oh, it's racist. Oh, really? You have to have ID to get food stamps. Are food stamps racist too? You have to have an ID to get 28 things today. You have to probably show an ID 4 times just before you go to bed tonight to do certain things. Are any of them racist? Is buying a lottery ticket a racist endeavor? So there's that. And another thing, I'm going to leave you with this one. Adam Carolla pushes back on this nobility of the poor people. They act like the poor, they're all a bunch of victims, and they're just doing their best, but the system won't let them succeed. No, a lot of people are poor because they just repeatedly keep making bad decisions.
I tell people all the time, I grew up with poor people. They're not noble. They're not hardworking. They're not smarter. They're a lot of time idiots. They don't know delayed gratification is not part of their world. There's lots of smoking, lots of drinking, lots of money going toward gambling or rims for their cars or lottery tickets or cigarettes or alcohol. They're not smarter than anybody. They're not more virtuous. They're not any of the they say. I grew up with these people. They're mostly idiots who don't work hard enough.
Now, let me put some, I know I like it too, but let me put some qualifiers on that. Because I don't judge you if you're young and poor. I don't judge you if you're 20 years old and flat broke and just surfing couches trying to get on your feet. I really don't judge you too bad if you're 25 and broke. And if you're 30 and just scraping by, that's not a whole lot of criticism, because I remember where I was when I was 30. You want to know how much money I was making when I was 30? How about this? I'm too embarrassed to tell you. But I had a larger vision. I had skill sets I was working on. I had a career path. I had a definite plan. And so I am not in that position now. But once you get to like 40, 50, if you are still broke, if you are still living paycheck to paycheck and you're in a single wide trailer park, just renting, driving a 20-year-old car with body damage, maybe you're not making all the right decisions here. Maybe you have made some bad decisions repeatedly in the past. And look, I'm not in great shape. I have a ton of credit card debt. I drive an old nappy car. But I am definitely better off than I was 10 years ago, way better off than I was 20 years ago. And I have a bright future where it's reasonable to believe in 10 years from now I'll be better off than I am now. But just in the same way, unless you inherited all your money, which most rich people do not, most people that are millionaires are self-made, you actually are the noble one. And if you're poor and you're old, I don't mean like 80 and you had cancer and so it drained, your $300,000 worth of life savings. I mean like if you're 40, 50 and you're still flat broke and you're still living the same lifestyle, run around in shorts and a T-shirt, day drinking on a Thursday, maybe you're not so virtuous after all. Stick around. Coming up next, The Mark Levin Show. I'm James Parker. This has been The James Show, live from the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo on News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP.
The James Show Podcast.